Hello, and welcome back to Entrepreneurship 101. This is episode 10, and we're going to be talking about the legal aspects that go into creating a startup. So I want to start off by talking about the four main types of companies. So you have the LLP, which is a limited liability partnership. You have the LLC, limited liability company. You have Inc., which is incorporated. And then you have 501c3, which stands for not for profits. So LLP, limited liability partnership. The key aspect is that in this type of company, you only have one managing partner that takes responsibility for the entire partnership. So all this is very dependent on the particular startup, the particular situation. But that's what really sets that aside, is that you only can have one managing partner. LLC, limited liability company, is the most common form of company. Is the most common company that there is within the startup world. It's common because of its flexibility. It's much more flexible in terms of how many people it allows to be part of the company itself. Both the LLP and the LLC allow you to avoid double taxation, which for many startups is a very large benefit. Incorporated is doubly taxed, unlike LLC and LLP, and it is often companies that are publicly traded. And then, as I mentioned before, 501c3 is the designation for companies that are not for profit. I then just want to touch upon intellectual property. So this is patent, copyrights, trademarks, and more. And intellectual property is something. Intellectual property, as well as legal elements like this as a whole, are something that it's not fun, and it's often overlooked by co-founders. But if not handled correctly, can really hold a company back from its potential. In terms of, if you get caught up in you can easily make a mistake and regret not doing your due diligence in terms of having taken the time to really work with a lawyer to make sure that you put your company in the best position possible, so that if something goes wrong, one, you won't be sued, and worst comes to worst, you're really protecting the long-term success of your company by working with a lawyer and by really taking the time to study all the different legal aspects of a company. So patents is something that there's, it's more controversial. Patents for startups oftentimes it's often not the best option. For one, the process is really, really expensive. It also can take a very long time, like several years sometimes. And secondly, what goes along with a patent is that you must make whatever you're patenting becomes public. It becomes known to the public. And yes, you could respond, well, it's patent, no one can use it. That no one could use that particular technology or whatever it may be. This is true, but just because you've a particular technology patented doesn't mean that companies will study that patent as much as they possibly can and try to find any way possible that they can tweak this or change this or add this. So it's still, just because it's patented doesn't mean you're safe from anyone else entering the market. It actually oftentimes quite the opposite. Many companies will actually try to enter the market or try to enter that product segment once the patent is out there, because they can use the information they've gotten from that public patent to, with a few changes, they have a great addition to their product line. Coke is a great example of this. Coke never patented its recipe. Never patented. So what does that mean? What it means is, what it did was it made it a trade secret. And what this did is, so no one knows, it's not public. They didn't need it. If they patented it, it would have gone public. And other soda companies, like I said, could have examined it and try to see how they could enter the market by making a small change to the recipe, and there you go. You basically have Coke. But no, they made it a trade secret. Therefore, no one knows it's a secret recipe. It truly is a secret recipe. People don't know. So that's all. This is a shorter episode, but again, I just want to stress it's not fun, and it's not pretty. It's not what you think about when you think about getting into entrepreneurship and starting your own company, being your own boss. But that doesn't mean it's any less important as any other episode or any other thing I've covered in any of the episodes previously. Especially nowadays with the development of apps and applications and mobile technology, you have a lot of issues that have been arising between developers, so people who actually make the code for particular programs, and the non-technical co-founders. all that this new relationship that's really pivotal to so many different businesses, so many different companies. What it's done, it's really put a lot more attention, and it elevated the importance of understanding this stuff and understanding the legal aspects. Because with a relationship like that, where I'm the non-technical co-founder, and I'm having someone else literally build my idea. As you can imagine, there's a lot of issues that can come with that, right? And I know that I don't have the ability to make it. So whenever you're dependent on someone else for that, as you can imagine, there's a lot of room for controversy and back and forth in terms of who owns what and how much of a cut they get and whatnot. So that's all for this episode. But again, I just want to stress legal aspects are just as important as any other aspect that will be covered in this entire web series. Thank you, and I look forward to seeing you back soon.